Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With fishingbooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. Fishingbooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to fishingbooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. The MLB at Field of Dreams returns. Bryce Harper and the Philadelphia Phillies face Byron Buxton and the Minnesota Twins at the iconic Field of Dreams ballpark. The field is calling. Watch the MLB at Field of Dreams game live on Netflix Thursday, August 13th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 p.m. Pacific.
Welcome back to the Survival and Basic Badass Podcast with Kevin and Chuck. Today, we're going to talk about, well, basically what to do with your prepping supplies. Maybe stashing them, how to, keep things a little bit more secure so when the roving gangs or mobs or whatever come looking for you, you have stuff a little hidden away. Now, we did touch on this in an earlier episode, but sit back and enjoy. I think you're gonna like it.
I think we've talked about. This came from Tristan, and we got an email about this.
All right.
And he was talking about listening to the martial law episode. We were talking about government organizations seizing your preps in an emergency. So
what did he say?
Well, he was talking about how would you hide your long-term preps? And he was talking about the Secret Survival Garden episode we did, hidden caches, and those different types of ways that you would hide things for future use. But what he was concerned about is like your overall preps. If you have shelves and shelves worth of food and ammo and things like that, how do you conceal that from somebody that's breaking into your house trying to find something?
Well, that's the thing. You really need to find a way to secure your things. And I got to say, I feel like it's more and more timely. Today, they were supposed to, today when we're recording this is actually August 1st, which they were supposed to release all the 3D printing gun plans. That Cody Wilson, I think was the guy's name.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, Trump is like, oh no, that sounds so scary. People could be making their own guns. And what he doesn't realize, it's already legal to make your own guns.
Right.
You can manufacture a gun for yourself as long as you can legally own a gun, no problem, on your own.
And, big news, the secrets on how to build guns, they're already out there.
Yeah. There's no secret.
You can build a gun in your basement with pipe and a piece of wood and a rubber band.
It's not rocket science. All right. But, so... luckily, my hero Mike Lee, who actually really does a good job in the Senate and defending people, he stood up and he goes, I literally just saw this proposed law to make it illegal to publish, anything on whatever. He goes like 2 minutes ago, he goes, but the first line says, it shall be illegal to publish. And he goes, let's just stop right there. Mm-hmm. He goes, whenever you propose a law like that,
right,
there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's America. And that's the whole point. So that said, I know you can get into the weeds and child porn and, we have to have some kind of, no, stop.
Right.
Shall not be infringed.
Mm-hmm.
Need I say more? But.
Right. And that's why the Second Amendment exists for to protect the First Amendment.
This is where the stash thing kind of got me going. So I flip on, I'm actually in somebody's house and they're watching CNN, and this jackass commentator on CNN says, I don't understand why we can't regulate the internet. Russia, Iran, and China are selectively regulating the internet all the time, and they have no problem. Why can't we be more like them?
Yes. This is a fucking genius.
And I'm like...
love this guy. You remember
is
when,
when
you
I'm,
remember
like,
when
going
you
ape
turn on the
shit
news and you would
inside?
get news instead of like stupid poorly thought out
I'm
opinions?
like, yeah, why aren't we more like Iran? That
Right.
makes fucking sense. Or Putin, who CNN loves Russia, right?
Right.
Oh, Russia's great.
They're
They're our
great.
friends.
Yep.
We could be like them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, no, Trump's a Russian spy.
Yeah.
Wait.
Well,
Then I see all over my whatever Facebook page, stupid shit, whatever, says, stupid Florida has already confiscated guns from like 284 people using their red flag law. Now, what
Right.
that is in New York, we have the same type of thing. It's the you snitch on people for no apparent reason. They get no due process, and you come and take their shit.
Mm-hmm.
This is a problem.
Yeah.
And I say-
This is not the America that I know and love.
I say we're heading down a dark road. So to talk about, maybe keeping your things, if not hidden from the government, let's just say secure so that you're not inviting confrontation with your neighbors.
There you go.
Right? Doesn't that sound
That
like
sounds
a
good.
value we can all get behind?
Mm-hmm.
I just peace, love, and happiness. We all want to get along.
Right.
Woodstock, the
Yeah.
whole thing, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, you guys work that out. I'll cover you when it doesn't work.
Right? Sniper rifles in the skies, people. This is what I'm talking about. But, that's the thing. Anybody snitching on anybody, it's an ugly world, and you gotta, keep your preps close to your chest, if you will. So that's all I got on my little rant. My little, damn the government trying to take shit from people, and damn Trump when he freaking says, oh, well, we can do due process after. Let's just get the guns out of their hands right now. And then we can
we'll
sort out giving them back.
Because that always happens. That's how the government always operates. We're just going to run this tax to catch up with this, and then we'll get rid of it.
Don't even worry about it.
Do you remember when income tax became a thing? It was only for the rich people. Only the rich people had to
Fuck
pay
those
it.
guys.
Yeah, fuck those guys. That's how it got passed. And now it's fuck everybody.
All right. So, moving right along. Now, do you have like categories? How do we do this? How do we approach it?
All right. Well, let's think about the types of things that you're storing and what you need to hide. Because if
Big
you're talking
things,
about
little things, red
if you're
things,
talking
blue
about a
things.
handgun, if you're talking about hiding a couple boxes of ammo,
They have
this
those
isn't-
cool shelves you can buy.
this isn't
by
really the
door.
episode for that.
No.
We're talking about the big bulky items.
Bulk items. So, like toilet paper.
Toilet paper.
Yeah.
There you go.
See?
Now, all right. So first off, let's talk about in your home.
Okay.
Where can you hide things in your home? False walls. Let's now I know you're thinking like, well, how much can you fit in a false wall?
How much can you fit in a false wall?
Well, I can tell you because
You've done it.
I'm gonna let you in on a secret. I have built a false wall in my house.
Oh my lord.
And it's it basically got the wife wanted a nice barnwood accent wall.
I
in the
know which
house.
wall I'm gonna look for.
Yeah, if you break in my house and you find my address and you come here and you're willing to get shot and come in my house, then you will know which wall to
It
open
doesn't
up.
sound as nice when you say, and you're willing to get shot. Now, that does not sound friendly.
Listen, hey,
Red
So,
flag.
red flag. I'm the person that you need to call.
See, if we did a drinking game tonight, it could be the red flag.
And I'm gonna take a shot for that.
All right,
All right.
Jameson for everyone.
Yeah. So basically, what I did was I built an accent wall.
Okay.
Now it was two, basically what it was, back to back, a wall that already existed.
All right.
2x4 frame wall. I took the drywall off, built another 2x4 wall there. That's about
So
7
made it a
inch.
little wider.
Yeah,
All
7-inch space there.
Yep. Yes.
Then I did barnwood, slotted. Basically, it was basically like a 1x6, is to get an idea of what size it was.
Okay.
Slats,
Right.
horizontal, and I have it sanded down. Obviously, you gotta be careful with barnwood because some of it's weak as shit. You want to get something that's got some meat to it. Whatever.
Wait! Don't we watch that show with Chip and JoJo? Is it a shiplap?
Shiplap? It's not actually shiplap, no. But I get what you're saying. So basically, 2 of these boards come out. They're not secured,
All right.
and it's stuffed in there pretty tight. But I went through the wood and found the knots, and basically drilled out the knots so that the grain of the wood kind of blends it in.
Okay.
Then these 2 boards can come out, and then you have access to. It's basically about a 10 by 8 wall, 7 inches deep.
Now, and what you did is you stacked tuna fish from floor to ceiling?
Tuna fish from that's actually not what I did. There's
rolls of toilet paper.
There's
floor to ceiling.
Yeah, there's food, and there's ammo in the wall. And that's basically it. Now, the great thing about MREs is that's real long-term food storage. They're not cheap. They're not really cheap. They don't taste good, but every one of them's about 2,000 calories. It'll keep you alive for a good long while.
All right.
I've never been able to eat an entire MRE at one.
Well, I like that they come with their own poo paper.
Their own poo paper. They got candy in there.
Oh, I like candy.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. But I can stack those things, right up floor to ceiling.
All right.
And I don't have enough MREs to stack from floor to ceiling yet. But, I mean, it's coming along. So, all right, but, that wall does stand out. It doesn't look like any of the other walls in the house. You can also do drywall, though. The problem is when you drywall something in, drywall isn't something that's so easy to repair.
Right.
So you basically, if you want to have it hidden, you're going to have to break the wall
to get
to it. Right. I don't have any of those walls in the house, but I mean, for certain things that could be good. For ammo, for handguns, for even rifles you can fit in there.
How many? We've seen the stairs where they put the drawer in each step.
Right. Love it.
You can fit a lot of food storage in there.
That is, though, not an easy thing to do.
No.
I feel like I could do it if I had a week to work on it, but it's not something. If you're not a handy guy, it's not something you can build yourself.
Jackass waste your time projects.
Right.
You probably didn't know this about me.
Yeah.
Turns out I got volunteered that I'm making some kind of half moon cradle. Turns out it's like pallet board kind of on the sides, but you can't put babies in pallets.
What the hell?
Toxic, whatever, I don't know. But then
it's
freaking,
come on.
And then dude, it's bad. So
all right, tell me about this.
Let me tell you about 4 hours,
and
let me tell you. But no, for me it's like 8 hours, and then let me tell you about 150 in materials. And I could just give them like $200 and be like, yeah, here, leave me alone.
Your thing.
No.
Yep.
So, but that's the kind of thing you're looking at when you want to do these custom stairs.
Right.
Stuff like that. Or serious false walls where, Kevin's like, well, you don't want to unsheetrock it. You know what? That's the way you're going to really be invisible from people.
Right.
When it's a serious commitment. When you want to do the nice custom door that, it's part of the bookshelf and I touch it. And I look on the internet and the whole freaking shelf opens up. Well, they charge like $10,000 to do that. And do you know why that is? Because the work you're going to have to put in to do that on your own and make it hang off the floor and sit
and
just
make
right,
it look right,
not leave marks and look seamless when it shuts is serious work. It's a real time commitment. Setting up the hinges, things like that. If you're really skilled and know what you're doing, you're looking at like 20, 30 hours worth of work.
Right.
You're looking at $500-$600 minimum of materials. And if you're talking about quality, nice stuff, like a lot of it looks like, you're talking about sometimes even $1,000, $2,000 in materials.
Right. Right.
So, realize
there's a big difference in price when you're talking about pine and you're talking about oak.
Yeah. But that's the thing too, is you got to realize the commitment you're willing to make for whatever. Now, something like that, you're going to have easy access. You know, you can walk in and play with your guns all the time. You
Right.
can keep them oiled.
Open it, close
you know,
it.
Oh,
Yep.
I'm going to grab the AR. We're going to go out for the weekend, close it. Everything's nice. But you made either a serious time commitment or a serious dollar commitment.
Mm-hmm.
And same thing on the flip side. You're cheap, I'm poor, whatever. Well, then, you know what? Cut out that freaking sheetrock wall. Sheetrock it back in.
Right.
Those guns are hidden there forever.
Mm-hmm.
And you're safe for whatever you want to do.
Right. Right.
It all comes at a price. You
Right,
know?
exactly. And I'm the cheap motherfucker. But, you know, the thing is, I'm also, you know, pretty good at building these things. Mm-hmm. So, you know, another idea with that is, you know, you always see people hiding things under the floorboards.
Right.
You know, it's not even a bad idea.
And you just look for the creaky one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the rule?
Yeah, well, that's actually how you would find it. If you're walking around and you're looking for a hidden floor thing and something creaks, that's a giveaway.
All right.
But what if you put it in the ceiling?
What?
What if you go down in your basement and you've got 2x10 joists, ceiling joists?
I see how somebody could have that.
Yeah, and you close it in. You drywall right over that, and you know you can make panels. You can make anything that comes down.
If it's in your basement ceiling, is it also in your floor?
It is. It is. There you go.
But when the access is from the bottom,
right?
That's what you're talking about.
You could build it. You could build it both ways too. The same,
right? But you're not going to have the creaky in the floor,
right?
When it's in the ceiling,
right? So. Now, before we get too deep into this,
but you like my little turnaround there.
Now, I have, you know, all right. If hypothetically,
okay,
you thought that having food and ammo was a good idea, and you also thought having gold, silver, cash as a thing.
All right.
You don't want to have a heart attack, and nobody knows where the shit is. You know, you're gonna have to share a little bit about this.
I have a friend
mm-hmm.
who tells me, "Oh, I have this much money hidden here. I have silver coins hidden here. I have a handgun hidden here. I have a spare key outside my house hidden here. I have another stack of cash hidden here. Can you just remember that?" And I go over to his house like once a year.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, yeah. He's like, so if I die, you can...
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah.
Now, I don't know if you've ever seen the TV show Arrested Development.
Somebody goes to prison.
I think I've watched maybe 3 episodes.
All right.
And when he goes to prison, he was telling his son, wink, wink, he goes, remember, there's always money in the juice stand. And they're all broke, and they figure out that there's a big insurance policy on the juice stand.
All right.
So they burn it down. But
That
what
wasn't
he
what
was
he
saying, the reason he's insured it is because he stacked $100 bills inside the juice stand, and they burned it all up. So, I mean,
you want to look in the juice stand first?
Yeah, at least share maybe with close family members where they can access these things if you have something valuable.
That sounds like a good idea.
All right. Now, another way that I've done some stuff as far as hiding things.
Okay.
Is garage, attic, and just put it in cardboard boxes that say Christmas decorations. You know, no, if you're looking for food, you're not going to bother with those Christmas decorations in the attic. You know.
Now, do I have to put like a wreath or some garland or something on top?
You can get as crazy as you want to.
Yeah?
Mine is just a cardboard box. If you open the top of the cardboard box, you'll see it. But I mean, get crazy. Get crazy with this. I love that.
Whatever I want.
Yeah. Tell me.
No,
email me how crazy you are. I want to know.
We
about
mentioned in the previous episode, but we talked about waste pipes and extensions and different things connected into the plumbing. Mm-hmm. Bringing it out a little bit, having a fake. These things are all options.
Right. You can run PVC waste pipe that starts nowhere and goes nowhere in your basement, and all you have to do is disconnect it and pull it down.
Right.
And you can hide all... Yeah, you can't fit an AR-15 in there, but you can hide a lot of things in there.
I can break it down.
You can
Let me tell you about how I do that.
Yeah, you can stick some granola bars in there and get crazy. I don't know. All right.
But not if there's poos running through it.
Yeah, you don't want it connected to anything. All right. So I mean, a good way to do that sort of stuff is make it easily accessible, but not obvious, not visible. You know,
Okay.
I have a stack of cash, you know, a stack of 20s that I could walk in from my front door and have it in my hand in less than 5 minutes. But you don't know where, you know, the trick is, where do you go to, you know, what do you open? What do you close? What box? What cans of paint do you have to move out of the way? You know, that sort of stuff. So I mean, hidden in plain sight is
now. If I
definitely
lift up that
skill.
room fan over there and look in the pipe, am I going to find a stack of 20s?
I'm not gonna discuss it any further, Chuck. All right. Now, the main thing that you worry about during martial law is they're gonna come into your house, they're gonna go down to your basement, they're gonna go into your pantry, they're gonna take the shit that you have stocked up. But you know, a lot of places they're not gonna initially look are, you know, outside, the outdoor buildings. Maybe a root cellar that you have in your yard. Now, I was reading a book not too long ago called The Road by Cormac McCarthy. And it was basically, there was a nuclear war, apocalypse ended, a guy and his son survived, and they're just traveling to the West Coast to try and find somebody that's still alive. And as they're going from place to place, the main character steps on a piece of ground that gives way a little bit, and then lifts back up when he walks past it, and he knows immediately what it is.
Right.
And it's basically it's a piece of plywood covering stairs that go down to a root cellar.
Okay.
So he pulled it up, and there's all sorts of stuff in there. And you know, down there they have Diet Cokes and food, you know, all sorts of storage down there. And whoever it was that planned that stuff is no longer existing. And you know, if you read this book, you're gonna want to kill. Yeah, you're gonna want to kill yourself by the time you're done. It's
good.
dark. Yeah, it's a dark book, but it definitely has a lot of ideas on how to look for stuff.
Okay.
And you know, having something like that where you can just slide a piece of plywood over the stairs that lead to it, to access it, and throw some leaves on top of it, it's not going to be, you know, especially if you have a good sized piece of property.
Right.
You know, it's if you have a postage stamp backyard, maybe this isn't the idea for you. But you know, if you've got a couple of acres and you can set it off to the corner of the lawn somewhere.
I always wanted to get in on like the ground floor building of a house and really set up a tunnel through the center block wall. You know, have we can just kind of move this finished wall here, and we got the whole tunnel or the little storage room.
Know, every once in a while you hear stories about this, about a house that's surrounded by the, you know, ATF or, you know, whoever it is, and they'll shoot that house all up and get return fire, and then things will go quiet. And they'll wait it out, then they'll gas them, nobody comes out. They'll go and they'll raid
all
it.
the kids.
And there's
didn't that happen in?
Well, no, I'm talking about a different
not
type
Waco?
of
No.
And they'll go in there and there's nobody there because they're all gone. If you were in Waco, maybe that would have been a good idea to do that.
They
instead
should have
of burning
planned
all
that.
your kids to death and yourself, whatever. I'm not saying that
don't
David
judge.
Koresh is responsible for starting the fire. It quite possibly could have been the FBI. They did an investigation, and the FBI found that the FBI was not at fault. Surprise.
Sounds right.
So I'm not laying blame at anybody, but it all could have been avoided if they had an escape tunnel.
All right. So, yeah, the old bomb shelter store.
Root cellar,
Root
anything.
cellar is the word I was looking for. Exactly. Any of that stuff. Now, you also mentioned if, like, somebody was to have, or you mentioned to me in an earlier discussion, that if somebody was to have a room that they keep their angry pit bull in, that might be a good place. You could just leave the shit out on the closet, on the shelf in there.
In Texas, you can own tigers and lions and shit.
Okay.
So, I mean, maybe you've got the got the lion den or the tiger den with your preps. Maybe you have an 800-pound gorilla. My son suggested a war gorilla with body armor. Everyone's talking about pit bulls, but what about a gorilla? I mean, that sounds like a lot of fun to me. I don't know what the rules are on owning mountain gorillas, but
you feel like something.
Hey, how hard can it be? You know? All right. Now, what about containers, though? If you're going to store outside, if you're going to store in a root cellar, if you're going to store outdoors on your property, you're going to need something waterproof that you can store this stuff in long term. Tristan, that sent us the email.
Okay.
He brought up the 96-gallon trash cans on the wheels.
Yeah.
You know, and suggested maybe stashing that around your property. You know, fill bottom half up with preps, and then a trash bag with, you know, stuff that's not going to rot. You know, maybe just pack it full of, you know, styrofoam, whatever. Make it look like garbage when somebody opens the lid. And those things are, I mean, they're waterproof.
People do walk by the obvious, you know, the hidden in plain sight.
Yep. And I think that's a pretty great idea. I've got 3 trash cans on my property that I don't think anybody but me has opened up in the past 5 years.
I don't think anybody wants to open those up.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm not fully committed to only putting non-rotting garbage in there. So it's a little. Some of those are a little bit gross, and that's why I don't open them up. But you know, those Rubbermaid Tupperware bins are pretty good too. I mean, you can't just bury it in dirt. I mean, shit'll get in there. But if you have a space, you know, outdoors under some sort of a cover, you can have those Rubbermaid bins out there all year long.
Yeah.
The ammo cans.
Yeah.
Those are great.
And they have them with, make sure, you get them with the rubber seal inside. Mm-hmm. And, you know, when they clamp shut, they're pretty solid.
And Tractor Supply is selling those right now for $8 a piece.
And they do have the rubber seal.
Yeah, they have the
They're
seal.
pretty decent.
Uh-huh.
I actually use them for ammo. Who knew?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't bury them in the ground for a long time, but if you have them, you know, sitting someplace.
Turns out you can fit a lot of freaking 22 rounds, even in those little ones.
You mean those ammo cans are good for storing ammo?
A lot of 22 rounds.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I was like, 1,000 rounds. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, I could fit a lot more in there. Mm-hmm. And then, 5,000 rounds. I could still fit some more in there.
Yep. You can pack it. Are you familiar with those job boxes? Those big steel boxes?
Yes.
That you can get. They're heavy duty.
They're usually orange and say rigid on them.
Right.
And they actually leave them on the job site. And a lot of times they're so big that people are lifting them in and out with like a forklift or whatever, their machine, whatever it is.
It's not something you really want to carry very far on your own.
No.
You know, even the smaller ones.
That's why they're not worried
heavy.
like somebody's going to pick it up and
you're not
going to
run off with it. Yeah. Those are great. Those are excellent. You can leave that outdoors all year long. And if it's on a piece of property that's near you or your own property that's, you know, out of the way, that is a great way to store stuff.
Now, you still want to keep it out of sight. You don't want it to say, hey, I have this big secure box here.
Right.
It's kind of like the safe in the house.
Right.
People are like, oh, that's what I want. That's where the good shit is.
Mm-hmm. And the idea is not necessarily keeping somebody from being able to break in, but keeping somebody from being able to find what they want to break into.
And then, in a way, I mean, it's nice if it's secure, too.
Right.
But
those job boxes, if you have a good padlock on
it's
there,
not easy.
Right.
No, I'm with you there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah. But, the idea is to keep it from being discovered, you know? Tarps are also a great way to store things outdoors. I think they're underrated. I have a lot of stuff that's tarped down. Even just tarping down your firewood for the winter.
Now my problem is like I don't want to put the tarp on the Harley because freaking then chipmunks and shit are in there all
moving in. Yeah, that's
like,
true. That's true.
I find I'd rather leave it out exposed than,
than
come out and find, oh, look what's living in the seat.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you've got a good little cover set up right now. Yeah. What do they call it? A carport.
I look a little white trash.
Uh-huh. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
And, the more junk and shit you got around your property, hey, the less they're going to investigate, you know? I think that's a net plus. All you white trash motherfuckers out there that have garbage and fucking trucks that don't run and all that sort of shit around your property, you're fucking geniuses. I love you. Love it. I want to talk about stash spots, though, when we're on the topic.
All right. Now, this is something outside our property.
This is something that, you know, I can't speak for where you live.
Okay.
Or what your situation is. I'm lucky that I have a good, 300 acres of woods attached to me that's zoned as wetland, so nobody can build on it. That's not necessarily wetland. It's wetland part of the year, but there's, areas back there that definitely are not wet ever. And now, you might want to have a stash spot. You want to have a stash spot that nobody's going to find. But you also want to be able to access it without being discovered doing it.
Right.
So you're going to want to, it's going to want to be out of the way. Now, is it on the way to your bug out location? Is it someplace only you know that if you're in a bad situation, you know how to get there and access it? Is it something that you have marked with a GPS that it's so out of the way that you can only find it with a GPS? But, if you have an additional location.
And that seemed to be the trick in Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Turns out in the desert, you can be there one day, and then the next day, I don't fucking know, somewhere.
And nobody's going to walk past it or, it's just too out of the way. And if you think about it, I'm sure you can come up with 5 or 10 places. It doesn't have to be within 10 miles of your house. It doesn't have to be within 100 miles of your house. I mean, hey, you do you. But now what might you want, though? What is stuff that you can take out of your ready available preps and store in a location that you may or may not access? Now, what I was thinking about when I set up mine is 3 years.
Okay.
You want something that can be untouched for 3 years and then restocked if you want to be. Maybe not. Maybe it's just abandoned. But you might want to have some things that are valuable enough in there. Cash is one thing. And you might not want to have $1,000 worth of cash that you can't use. You might not be able to afford that. But right. I guarantee if you ever need to access that spot, you're going to be kicking yourself that you didn't put more money in there. Even $100 is better than nothing. But, all right, so let's talk about a 3-year storage in a hidden location, off-site, that you can access and is available for you. All right, so what are we going to have? First off, let's talk about food.
All right, I like food.
Now, you don't necessarily... Obviously, size is an issue.
Right.
So we're going to run through... We'll talk about a couple of different things, and you might want more or less of one or the other. And...
Now, like when I do, from my Patriot Supply, and a lot of times they'll have 1 month for $99. Mm-hmm. So a month of food is a decent amount for a stash.
Right.
They come in those big Tupperware tins.
Mm-hmm.
So it's maybe 18 inches by 36 inches by maybe 10 inches or 8 inches high. Mm-hmm. So those rectangle Tupperware.
Right.
So, that wouldn't be too hard to store. Stash.
Yeah.
What were you thinking?
And, those things that's perfect.
It's $100. It's a month. So if there's 4 of you, it's a week food for each of you in your party.
And what I'm thinking about with this stash is living completely off-grid, in the woods, away from anybody, without having to get to anything.
Right.
Without, being self-sufficient. This is what I would want in an all-purpose, long-term kit. You'd want food storage. Now, with a 3-year supply, you're kind of limiting yourself on what food you can get. But tuna fish will last for 3 years in a can. Potted meats, Spam.
You like potted meats.
Canned vegetables. Potted meat is disgusting. But I'll tell you what, man. When you're out there and you're a little bit short on food, that's a great way to go. Great source of protein. and you can choke down just about anything when you need to. I have a little bit of experience on that, being hungry, and the only thing you got is Spam. It tastes amazing. You're also gonna need like a water filter, water straw. Those are small. You can
light straw or whatever.
Like,
yep.
Maps and compass. Map of the area that you're placing the thing.
I like that.
Compass. That's all small stuff. Headlamps. You say headlamps. I mean,
I love the headlamps.
They're amazing. You can go out and have both hands at night, gather firewood. You're not carrying a flashlight. And, if you store AAA batteries separate, not connected to anything, they'll last 5 years.
Yeah.
You can, throw, if you have a headlamp that has AAA batteries, or any type of battery, really, just keep the batteries separate and have it there. You're talking about a $15 investment, really.
You know what? I do they sell those things that are the little solar packs that are they look like an iPhone basically,
right?
And it's a solar panel on one side, and then it's got a USB charger.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like $19. They're not expensive on Amazon. You could throw a couple of those in there, where you have like the little hand crank flashlight radio.
Yeah, the hand
charger,
hand crank radio flashlight would be a great combo.
What
if you don't know what's going on and you're isolated.
So on my ARs, I have the like, I don't know, I think I have like a Smith & Wesson tactical light. It's one of those, you hit it and it's like a strobe light, or it's 900 lumens, or it's, whatever. I think it's like 900 lumens for an hour and a half, and then like 120 lumens for like 10 hours or something like that. Whatever. Point is, I was like, oh, I need to find batteries for this that, whatever, I can, the end of the world. Because that was one of the things I always read, was the guys in Iraq and Afghanistan were like, yeah, I bought all this cool tactical gear, and then they can't buy the batteries anywhere. Because, good luck freaking buying 3-volt batteries at the Iraqi mini mart,
Right.
So anyway, I was like, I got to find the right batteries for these. So they're 3-volt, and I started looking for solar chargeable. I was looking for a solar charger that would do 3-volt batteries. What I found was 3-volt batteries that actually had a micro USB plug in the side of it.
Really?
So it just has the opening in the battery, and you plug it in, and I can plug that into the little solar pad and charge them right up. And I was like, it's pretty badass. It gets me through the apocalypse. Now, me being the prepper that I am, I have big bundles of AA batteries. I'm buying the 50 pack or whatever. Right. And I always have. I actually rotate it through my household use and whatever. And I bought, I think a 28 pack of the 3-volt batteries. But just the same, I bought a couple of those solar chargeable ones.
Right.
And same thing. I have a bunch of N-loop solar AA battery, AAA battery, that kind of stuff. Whatever my comms and all these things need, I have the batteries for it. And these, another thing you might want to have in this stash, like I said, maybe the hand crank radio, something like that.
Yeah, a lot of the, I'm a big proponent of batteries.
Right.
Love it. You can't have enough of those. Stack up.
And if you shop right, they're not as expensive as you think.
Right. If you're buying the 4-pack at Home Depot on your way to
they're
check out,
expensive as
you're
hell.
spending some money. Right.
But if, if you look around, they're not that bad. My kid's an idiot and signed up for some kind of AAA batteries in some big box on Amazon, and he checked like the auto delivery. So it was like 4 months before he got around to canceling it. And I'm like, oh, I'll take those. Don't even worry about it. I'll find a use for them. Needless to say, I'm not buying AAA batteries for the rest of my life.
Right. Got it covered.
Got it covered.
And, like I said, they'll last for 5 years.
Yeah, it's not
it's
without
not
a problem.
You gotta get rid of. Yeah. Now, another thing I would put in there is a tarp, and I would say that for shelter building, like a tarp that is big enough to, cover a lean-to, something like that.
Maybe dry matches. Your old school prepper.
Rope, zip ties, fire starter, like you're saying. A lot
maybe
of
a box of 9mm.
There you go.
Or whatever your round of choice, right?
Yeah, whatever you choose. Fishing line, hooks, bobbers, bait, that sort of stuff. You know where you're at. You know your location. You know where you're stashing it.
Right.
You know, think about the environment that you're in. If you're in the desert, don't bother with the fish hooks and the fishing line, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, think about the needs you're going to have. Obviously, you're going to want to have a good survival knife in there.
Maybe it's in the middle of the woods. Maybe you want a can of bug spray.
Ooh, there you go. It's not a bad idea.
Secret of the pros right
list.
there.
Yeah. I have on here first aid kit,
Okay.
but I would recommend you just don't get hurt.
Yeah?
Yeah, so that's how I don't have a first aid kit in mine, but, you know, I have like a...
Jackass.
I have a natural ability to avoid dangerous shit.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's happened. I've never broken a bone. I've narrowly missed a lot of dangerous shit.
Put a tube of triple antibiotic in there. Call it good.
Yeah, put some gauze in there. You're all right. Use the fishing line to stitch yourself up.
Yeah, I don't think the Band-Aid is going to make the difference. So,
hatchet, multi-tool. Those are small.
I love a good like Leatherman.
Yeah, you can get one that's cheap for
All right.
$20 if you want.
Apologize to yourself. What you can do is Kevin's actually right. If you guys actually go on eBay, you can find a lot of the kind of used, beat up a little bit, just as good. You sharpen it up nice.
Yeah.
Maybe even return it to Leatherman and have them replace all the broken pieces. They'll just send you a new one. And I got to tell you, the last time the new one they sent me is kind of shitty. Mm-hmm. Like, I sent them a nice one. You know, it's like, actually, it was really nice. It's the old school PST. Mm-hmm. That was like the first, like the standard Leatherman that everybody knows. And they sent me one of the new, like, Waves or something. They were like, this is the equivalent.
Yeah, nah.
Now, it's got as many tools, but it sucks. It's not functional. It doesn't work the way, it's not natural, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry. It's a little bit of anger.
Yeah.
But
now,
we'll move on.
one thing I wanted to touch on, you know, we talk about firearms, and
I like
Chuck was
firearms.
talking about the 9mm rounds and that sort of thing, and obviously, Taylor, this is something you want to tailor very personally to you. This is something you want. I would recommend even a compound bow. If you don't know how to use a compound bow, don't put one in there, because it's not going to be any good. You're not going to be able to hit shit.
I've never used a compound bow.
Well, I was watching a show called Alone, and a guy found stuff that, you know, washing up on the beach. You know, it's basically a show where they go out. They're in Patagonia, in the one I was watching, and they're in the middle of nowhere. And he found stuff to make a not a slingshot, slingshot.
Okay.
Basically, you know, he found like some medical rubber tubing.
Always.
And fashioned a slingshot. And it was great for taking down small game if he could hit anything. I mean,
he couldn't spend 2 hours.
He did spend 2 hours, but he's trying to shoot like ducks out of the water and shit like that, and it just wasn't working out for him. Now I'm hoping, I haven't watched the whole season. I'm hoping he comes along, gets better at it.
All right.
But I mean, there's a lot of stuff. If you're thinking about having to survive in the wilderness on your own with only these items,
learn how to use them.
Yeah, it's not going to be any good if you
a
9mm. If you can't hit shit,
right?
Then there's no point in having it.
What I would say is, you know, oh, by the way, my Leatherman, it's a Wingman, is the one that I say is a piece of shit.
Okay, that's the
Wingman.
That's the one not to buy.
That's the one not to buy. But it's like I said with first aid kits. If you don't know how to use it, don't put it in there. You're just taking up space. It's going to get in the way when you're looking for the shit. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe you should learn how to use the stuff.
Right.
But use, you know, what's practical.
Right. Obviously, like we're saying, this is your stash spot for the things that you need.
If you're the master with the freaking slingshot, then have a slingshot in there.
Yeah. If you're good at fishing, then get everything you need in there.
If you're like, I'm rogue in the end of the world and I'm walking around with an AK in my hand, then don't put 9mm in there. Then freaking your 7.62 crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. Whatever, you know?
But obviously, this is something that you want to be able to find that nobody else can. So the location is key.
I carved an X in the tree where mine was in the bark.
Perfect.
See? Because nobody will know what that means.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I've got mine just sitting under a pile of leaves. Because I go back, I go past it at least twice a week. So it's something that I can keep an eye on and cover up if it needs to be more covered up. But the idea is that...
Is it in an orange Home Depot can with an orange lid?
With an orange,
it just
bright
takes
orange
one
lid.
good wind and...
Yeah. No, I mean, that the idea, though, is something that you can access. You don't want something that's 100 miles away and that maybe you'll be in the general area. You know, you don't want to make that kind of investment.
A lot of people, when you have the survival camp and stuff like that, and you're worried about being overrun, that kind of thing, they'll set the stashes just 200 feet back in the woods. Mm-hmm. You know, just out of sight. Or maybe it's 500 feet back in the woods.
Stack some logs and rocks around it.
You know, and at least you have a fallback position if you're overrun. Mm-hmm. Oh, we can go back and get some more gear, you know. Oh, they came in and took all our guns. You know. Who's to say? And the other thing, don't put it all together. Mm-hmm. You know, Kevin talked about, I mentioned, it sucks when you have stuff hidden in 18 different places and you're like, oh, I got to remember this. I got to have a chart here to find that. And it's ridiculous. But also don't put everything in one spot. Mm-hmm. You know, you can't have all your guns in one place.
Right. Even in your house.
It's not a good idea. Mm-hmm. You know, you're just going to end up losing all your guns at one time.
Right.
When a burglar comes in, obviously.
Right.
Some kind of armed intruder that you did not expect.
Mm-hmm. I mean, how often do people break in houses and steal guns? It happens.
Apparently in New York, if you have a concealed carry, they want to just like publish your freaking address in the newspaper and say, this guy has a concealed carry. And they're thinking, well, that might embarrass you. But what they're really doing is saying, hey, if you're a criminal, this guy...
If you need to steal some guns, let me tell you where. Now, like I said, this is what I have set up is a 3-year stash spot. I'm not going to have to go back and replace anything for 3 years.
Okay.
This is a...
Is there corned beef hash in there? I heard you say canned meat.
I don't want to get too deep into my preps, but I have an affinity for corned beef hash.
All right. It's very high calorie.
I like it, though. I like it. All right, so...
I keep a chicken in my stash.
What's that?
I keep one of my chickens, so I'll always have eggs. I put them right in the box. It's like, you go in the box.
Uh-huh. I have that pony that I bought my kid that I'm going to surprise him on his 16th birthday.
It's in the box.
It's in the box.
Right under the 500-pound gorilla.
Right.
Sounds right.
All right, so that's it for tonight. If you guys want to email us, if you have any ideas or questions on preps and things like that,
well, you know what?
Want to hear us talk about something?
They should. What should they do?
Email
How would they
us
get
at
in touch?
preppingbadass@gmail.com.
Nice. I like it. Now, one of the things you guys may not know, there's a company called PFA Supply.
Uh-huh.
They actually make these survival pucks that they put all kinds of cool shit like lighting, fire starting, general essential, you know,
right? There's,
whatever. They're like $13.
Yep.
They're cheap.
Mm-hmm. First aid kit.
This might be something you want to throw in your stash pile.
Yeah, and they seal up nice.
$13. Uh-huh. Seriously, you can't get it together for $13.
Very small space wise.
And
you could even put that in your fake wall.
Don't hold me to this and get angry if it doesn't work out. But I think if you use the code BADASS at checkout, you might get free shipping.
Ooh, all right.
Now, I heard rumors.
All right,
so
we're not 100% sure.
I'm not sure. I haven't actually tried that.
Okay.
I do have the survival pucks, though. And I have tried those.
Right.
I haven't tried the free shipping
coupon.
They're
actually pretty cool. The amount that they can pack into these little containers.
That's it, right? So they might be something you want to check out. They're pfasupply.com. Otherwise, you guys might want to head over to Patreon. Show us a little love. You love this podcast. You want to keep us around all the time. We'll probably keep doing it anyway, but
yeah, if you're going to spend $1.50 on coffee every morning,
why not buy us a cup of coffee?
Buy me a cup of coffee.
I don't even think
$1 a month,
you.
a cup of coffee a month.
I don't know if they can do different amounts. I know it does like $1, $5, $10, but I feel like if you found a way to donate like $2 a month to the Prepping Badass, it would be like you're buying Chuck a cup of coffee.
You
You
that
might
would be
get
a nice thing
less,
to do for a friend.
You know, that's something you do for a friend, right? I mean, that's the way I'd see it. I mean, I'd take it like that. I'd be like, that guy's a good friend. That's what I'd say. Maybe that girl, she's a good friend. That's what I'd say.
That's right.
So just putting that out there. Now, if you had like $4, I mean, then it could be like fancy coffee. I'm not going to drink fancy coffee, but I'll have Kevin over and we'll both have a cup of crappy coffee.
Yeah, there you go. That's even better.
Even better, right? I think McDonald's has the dollar coffee.
I was in when I was in the Navy, I feel like I
got a
have
tolerance for
like
crappy coffee.
I even enjoy crappy coffee.
I gotta say, when like my Patriot Supply or something has some kind of coffee for the end of the world, and I was like, wait a minute, I can just go to Sam's Club and they got the big things of freeze-dried coffee.
Yeah.
Sure, it might taste a little shitty, but freeze-dried coffee is freeze-dried coffee, right?
Right.
So I buy these big Folgers things. So I run out of coffee, like, I don't know, it was like 2 months ago or something. I run out of coffee, and I'm like, well, I do have like 20 of those freaking big tubs of Folgers because I'm not going through the apocalypse without coffee.
Yeah.
And I freaking crack one open, whatever, taste it. And I was like, man, it's going to be freaking hard in the apocalypse.
Yeah, buddy.
Folgers is not really that good. It's kind of shitty. My new plan is chock full of nuts.
Okay.
And that's my budget.
Well, they have the metal cans too, right?
And just if you find like 5 or 6 big plastic containers of Folgers on your front step, I'm just saying, maybe it's because I'm helping you out, or maybe I'm cursing you with shitty coffee for the rest of your life. I'm just saying, I do have a year's worth of coffee.
It's like pizza or beer, It's even shitty pizza is good,
right.
I drink Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's not good, but it's better than nothing. It's better than drinking
it's
water
better
like
than
a
nothing,
fool.
but then you get to like Bush in a can.
Yeah, all right. I'm not going to go that far.
And then you're like, nah, I'm good. That's all right. You just keep it. So, all right. But with that, stay safe, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
The Survival and Basic Badass Podcast is a proud member of the Self-Defense Radio Network.
Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With FishingBooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. FishingBooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to FishingBooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.